I've now completing the second row of planking, which goes from frame 16 to 23, and then it has a front plank and a back plank, just as done before. So I'm basically just going to continue building this up. When I get to the end of stage 25, I think I'll update you, because it's basically the same thing over and over again. So so I've now done the 6 layers of planking. So what I'm going to do is I'm not too sure if I'll leave this to dry and cut out the ports tomorrow, or I will carry on today. I'll probably just leave it, and I'll do something small, like do the stand. Yeah, I'll probably just leave it and do the stand and then carry on tomorrow, because I've basically done it all now. Basically, the planking, it does take a while, but as soon as you've done like 3 rows, you sort of get into the rhythm and just start like busting them out like really quickly. You just got to get into a rhythm, and then it just goes quite quickly, to be honest. A lot of work though, but I've actually quite enjoyed it, to be honest. I expected it to be. It is the only thing I don't really enjoy is sanding and shaping the wood into shape. But apart from that, it's all right. So what I'll do is I'll just get started on the stand here, and the rest I will leave probably, or I could make some cans, to be honest. I've got loads of options now, so yeah, I'll make this stand and I'll be right back. Right, so what I've done now is I've removed every single pin. This takes a lot of time, so it takes surprisingly a very long time to take all of these out. And I've started to cut the portholes. This is one that's finished. They're 12 by 12 squares, and they line up against the bottom of the first plank, and then they continue all along and just follow the instructions, because there they have a plan to show you where everything actually goes. So yeah, this does take quite a while, to be honest, but yeah. So I'll see you guys when I've cut out all the portholes, and then we will continue the planking going up. As you can see, I've cut out every single port on the other side as well. It's very tedious work. It's not very easy, but you sort of get used to it. Like anything else you do on a model, to be honest. So yeah, what I'm gonna have to do now is I think is I may as well just plank all the way to the top on one side. It's like one of the sides finished. I don't know, I just think it will make the sense of the progress going faster, I guess, or something like that, I don't know. But that's what I'll do, I think. Yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I started doing the next row of planking. Right, so from now on, I'm going to be using this template on the back here to show us how we're doing things. And basically, it's all just continuing up, to be honest. I've got 1522, 2417, just continuing going up. It's all the same basically. So I don't think I'll really do talk too much about it, I'll just do it. So yeah, as you can see, I've now planked the front of the bow. It's literally just going up along the bow formers, that's it. And yeah, I'm going to continue doing the sides now. Right, so I've done now the next 6 layers of planks on one side. What I'll do is I'll continue them on the other, and then once I continue them on the other side, I will cut out the ports on this side. So I'll get back to you when we start out cutting the gun ports. Right, so after you've gotten from stage after each 6 planks, you're told to cut out the ports. So like back here I was supposed to cut out a small port, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that after I've gone to the top here, to the top of this keel. So I'm just going to carry on going up, basically. It's nice and easy. Yeah, I'm just going to continue that. I've now cut out all of the second row of gun ports and an entry port. The other side I haven't even completed yet, and I've planked all the way to the top of the shortest rib as well. So I'm going to cut out the third row and then I'll move on to the other side. I made my first mistake, which is I've cut these ports 1 plank too low. So what I'm going to have to do is cut out a little plank so it goes in between here and cut one up. So it's not too big of an issue, but it annoyed me quite a bit because I've almost finished all of the next row. On the other side it's fine now. I'll do this later though, because cutting out gun porters burnt me out a little bit. So I think that's everything we have for pack 3, I believe. Let me just check real quick. Cutting up a handex, assembling the anchor. Yeah, pack 4 next, which is starting to plank all the way up to the top and then the bottom. So I'll come back to you guys when I start planking the top part now. Now is while I wait for the top parts to dry, I'm basically going freehands assembling the lower hull planks, because the instructions are basically the same and I have the basic idea of what I'm doing now. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I'll just carry on with this. And yeah, I will get back to you when I've made some decent progress on it. The next layer of planks, I'll fit a dropper plank, and I've been planking in between the dropper. So this is the back done here, and it has a very sharp curve up to here. The first plank I managed not to snap, the last one didn't either, but the ones in between have snapped a little bit. So the way you fix this actually is, while you still have it open, while the last plank isn't in, you drop loads of glue in there, because it will all stick together in the end, and it will all hold together when you start sanding it. And also pushing the pins all the way in will give it extra support. So yeah, it's not the straightest up here, but that can be easily fixed. So yeah, I'll just start in the middle now and then the front. Right, as you can see, this is what I've gone to so far. I'm quite enjoying the planking actually. I'm getting better and better at it slowly, even though I am still snapping some planks here and there. I've managed to make it so it can be fixed when we're sanding, so it's no problem. Yeah, coming on beautifully. I think I'll finish for today and I'll carry on tomorrow, to be honest. And that's just on this side though, because on the other side I haven't even cut out the ports. Right, I've just been absolutely hammering on, to be honest. I've got a lot done. As you can see, it's almost finished. It's looking like quite the mess, but after sanding and filling, it should look quite nice. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll finish this side off and I'll tell you what I'm going to do next. I've now completely finished one side of the hole. As you can see, I've bled a little there from taking out the pins, because it's quite a rough surface and you need to lean your hand on it in order to get pivot to pull them out. Once it's going to be sanded, it should look very nice, to be honest, but I'm going to repeat this on the other side, and then I'm going to line the ports, and then I'm going to start sanding. I also need to build up to the top here as well, but the reason I haven't done this yet before doing that is because when you're putting model upside down and working on the hull, I've had a plank here snap, and I've had the front bulwark plank fall off, but that's fine, I could just stick it back on. But yeah, one side's done. I'm not sure how much I've spent. I'd say about 12 hours to go from the top to the bottom. That includes taking the pins out and everything now. By the way, for shaping the planks, what I've done is I've got one of these belt sanders, and what I do is I just flip it on this side. When I want to use it, just press the button, and then I sand the planks to the right shape, and as you can see, it has done a pretty good job. And by the way, you turn it down to the lowest speed as well, so it doesn't cause damage to the fibre of the wood. So yeah, one side done. I'm moving on to the other side now. I've now finished this side basically completely. I need to go one frame up here, which I'm not 100% sure about because I have no frame left. I will look into it and see whether I should do it or not, because they said if you have there should be a bit of frame left to put it in, but you have to do it at an angle, but I have none, so I'm not too sure about it, because it's going to be just to the height of the frames anyway. But I will see. On the other side here, I should have 2 frames there. It's the reason why is because this side was the plank was probably a bit higher than it's supposed to be, start plank. So yeah, it looks very nice actually. So I think I will carry on finishing off the gun ports on this side. By the way, on these gun ports I cut one too low by accident, one plank too low. So the way I've fixed it is I'll just cut up planks, put it in position, so it doesn't really matter because it will be filled in anyway. And then after I've cut out the holes, I will continue this, and then next, I believe, we will be framing all the gun ports. But we'll see. Also, before I forget to tell you, this side, I've gone up with a painted plank, which is included in pack 3 or 4, I think. You get this, you paint one side black, and then the middle gun deck, which is this, you line the back with these. So I've done it on this side, and after I've finished cutting these gun ports out, I'll do this side. I'll just show you what I've got on the accessories. I've built 6 more cannons, and just because when I start getting to the end of the planking along the bottom, I started getting a bit burnt out, so I just did these and took a little break. Because the planking I have enjoyed till like 3/4 of the way, because doing the underside of the hull, you realise how much you actually have to do, because the side where the windows are nothing compared to the bottom, and how much you got to do there. And got another rank I need to assemble, but I'll do that later, because I'm not actually going to be using any of the anchors till a very later stage. So I don't think you need it until like the end, I think, because in pack 12 you get another one. So yeah, that's what I think. Right, so I'll carry on with this and I'll get back to you for framing the gun ports. Right, so I've completed the tops for the whole hull. I'm now lining the gun ports. This does take ages, but yeah, it does take absolutely ages. I'm not sure what I have to do after this, but I may have to do something different in between, because I'm 100% sure I'm going to get burnt out by it, because this is going to take absolutely ages. Yeah, I've only done 2, so yeah, I'm just going to carry on until that's done. Right, so for today I'm going to continue doing the gun ports. Slowly but surely I'm getting along. It does take a very long time, but today I'll just get the gun ports done. I'll line this side with these blocks as I've done here. I forgot to do it, and I'll build one plank up here, and I'll also build the anchor actually, because I won't have time today to sand it. I will, but it'll probably, by the time I've done this, it'll probably be quite dark, and I don't want to be a nuisance to everybody by making loads of noise sanding it, so I'll leave that for tomorrow. That's when I'll start sanding. So for now I'll just power on with this, and when I finish these gun ports I will show you what we're doing about the blocks for the back of the gun ports. I've now framed every single gun port. What I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to have to remove the pins, and then I'm going to start filling the whole of the hole. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing now. Sorry about the lawnmower outside, but I've sanded the whole thing. It's all beautifully smooth now. The way I did this is I first went over it with 120 grit sandpaper, so it's medium grade, and then I filled all the gaps and stuff that need to be filled, so it's all nice and even now. And I have then sanded it again with 120 one last time, but for a short amount of time, not as long this time. And I have then gone over it in 180 sandpaper and then 400, so it's all nice and beautifully smooth. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the keel. The keel goes all around here using all of these pieces. So what I'm going to have to do is cut out a groove the thickness of this to allow it to stay in there. So that's what I'm going to do now.